Now we need to compare fractions. So first we have 1/2 and 3/5. Now we know that usually to compare fractions we can make the denominators the same. But here it's a little bit trickier than what we've done before, because if we look at our denominators, 5 isn't in the 2 times table. 5 isn't a multiple of 2, so that means that we'll need to find 2 equivalent fractions in order to compare them. So we need a number that's in both the 2 and the 5 times table. We need a common multiple of 2 and 5. Now 10 is in both the 2 and the 5 times table, so we can find equivalent fractions to 1/2 and to 3/5, which have a denominator of 10. Now we use multiplication to find equivalent fractions. 2 times 5 is 10, and what we do to the denominator we need to do to the numerator as well, and 1 times 5 is 5. Now 5 times 2 is 10, and 3 times 2 is 6. So because 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10 and 1/2 is only equivalent to 5/10, we know that 1/2 is smaller than 3/5. Now we have 5/6 and 3/4. Again, 6 isn't a multiple of 4, and that means we need to find 2 equivalent fractions. So we need a number that's in both the 6 and the 4 times table. Now I like to use the lowest common multiple, and the lowest common multiple of 6 and 4 is 12, but this method would still work if you used any other common multiple. So you could use 24 or 36 or any other common multiple would still mean that you could compare the fractions. But if we're using 12, 6 times 2 is 12, 5 times 2 is 10, 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9. So because 5/6 is equivalent to 10/12, it must be larger than 3/4, because that's only equivalent to 9/12. Finally, we have 5/8 and 7/12. The lowest common multiple of 8 and 12 is 24, so we can find equivalent fractions for 5/8 and 7/12 with a denominator of 24. 8 times 3 is 24, so we do the same to the numerator, and 5 times 3 is 15. 12 times 2 is 24, and 7 times 2 is only 14. So 5/8 is larger than 7/12 because 5/8 is equivalent to 15 over 24. Now let's show fraction bars to see what we did. First, we were comparing 1/2 and 3/5. You can see on the fraction bar that 3/5 is larger because more is shaded, but if you can't imagine the fraction bars, then what we did was turn 1/2 into 5/10 and 3/5 into 6/10, so we knew that 3/5 was larger. Then we have 5/6 and 3/4. We changed 5/6 into 10/12 and 3/4 into 9/12, so we knew that 5/6 was larger. Finally, we had 5/8 and 7/12. We changed both into fractions with denominators of 24, and because 5/8 was equivalent to 15 over 24 and 7/12 only equivalent to 14, we knew that 5/8 was our larger fraction. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. If you're a teacher or a parent, then please subscribe or go to keystage2maths.com to download resources for this lesson and many more. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.